Hello everyone and welcome back to a new Scratch tutorial. I know it's been a long time, but hey, I'm back with a new part 3, so let's get into this tutorial. Alright, so as always, you need some requirements. So first of all, uh, you're gonna need to make a couple variables, alright? So first I'll start with the global variables. First you want to make a variable named health. Alright, this variable is going to be called health, and it's for all sprites. Okay, as you can see, I already made mine, so that should be alright. Okay, next you want to make another variable called players left. Okay, players left, alright? Alright, players left. So you got players left and you got health. Next you want to make a new sprite called health bar. Alright, a new sprite named health bar, and in the sprite you want 100 costumes, but I have posted in the link below in the description a link to the art of the series as a Scratch project, which you can just open it by clicking the See Inside button and dragging in the costume into your backpack. When you click the link, the instructions in the project will tell you everything to do, so you can just get this sprite, the health bar sprite, and you can get all these costumes. This is our health bar from 1 to 100. Alright? So, next, what you want to do is you want to make another new sprite named enemy. This will be your enemy who you'll be fighting in this game. Alright, so the enemy is going to have two sprites actually. Alright, so I made mine look like this. You can also access it from the link below, as I said. And they have to be named 1 and 2, alright? The easiest way to do this is just drag in your player and put him into the enemy sprite. That's what I did, and I edited him a little bit. And you have to make the bullet at the exact place where it would come out of the gun. So yeah, that's great. Alright. So once you're done with that, you need to go ahead and make another two more sprites. Alright, this one, the players left, call it players left, but don't create it. Duplicate the ammo sprite that we made last time. Alright, duplicate that because it's gonna use the same sprites. Costumes. Sorry about that. Okay, so it's gonna use the same costume. Alright, same costume. Alright, so then you want to make a icon like the ammo icon, and it's called players left icon. Alright, so first of all, you want to go ahead in your first script here in the player, and you want to get a set. Alright, put that right here with the other sets, and change the ammo to health. Alright, so set health to 100. Alright, since our costume for the health bar is 100, and 100 is usually the number for all games for hit points and all that. So health 100. Alright. Next, you guys want to make a when flag is clicked. Alright. Usual when flag is clicked. And get yourself a forever. Okay. So forever and a if statement. Then you want to get a less than, which is in the operators, which is the alligator math opening to the right side. Alright, you want to get a health. Get the health less than 1. Alright, so this is telling us that when the health is less than 1, then you gotta, what we're gonna put here is stop all. Now, what's gonna decrease our health, you might say? Well, obviously, the enemy is gonna be shooting at us. So, yeah. Alright. Now we're gonna go into the health bar, and make sure if you would make the health bar by yourself, then name all the costumes their representative number. Alright? And start with 1 and end off with 100. Alright. So, let's start here. We're gonna get a one flag clicked, looks, show, then go into control, get a forever, go to looks again, and get a go to front. Put that at the start of the script. Oh, alright, put that at the start of the script and in the forever. Okay, then you want to position it. I've already positioned mine at 1236. Okay, so you want to go into your motion once you've positioned it and put in the go to XY inside the forever. Okay, then you still got one more thing to do. You gotta go into your looks, and you gotta switch costume. You gotta switch your costume to right there. Switch your costume to. Go into your variables and put in health. Switch costume to health. So essentially, what this is doing is it's telling the game, it's telling Scratch that you gotta go to front at all times because everything here is already going to the front. The player, the border, everything. So you wanna go to front at all times, and you wanna go to this position at all times, and switch your costume, since these are raw numbers, just like the data of the variables. When it switches the costume to health, it's basically gonna use the health data and switch the costume. Alright, so that is really great. So as you can see here, if we want to test how this works, we're going to grab a set here, and we're gonna get a set health. And if we set the health to something, example 40, can set health to 40, both of these values are changing. The health bar sprite itself and the health variable. So that's how you know you did it correctly. Alright, so that is step 1 today. You want to go into the enemy sprite, and you want to create a couple new variables only for the enemy. Alright, so first of all, you want to make a sprite variable called enemy health, and for this sprite only. Alright, all these next variables are for this sprite only, which is the enemy. Alright, enemy health, then make my X, which is also for this sprite only, and my Y, which is also for this sprite only. Alright, I've already made them, so yeah, that's why I didn't click OK. And the last one is state. Alright, state for the sprite only. Alright, so those are all the private variables for the enemy. Now, let's get coding. Alright, so this next part is going to be a lot of code for the enemy. So make sure you're ready, and, well, yeah, get ready. Okay, so first of all, you want to get a when flag is clicked. Alright, we're going to get that when flag is clicked. Get a hide. Alright, we want to hide right here. And we want to set some variables, starting with setting our enemy health to 100. And setting our state, right here, our state, ooh, there it is. Setting our state to 1. Then we want to get a repeat block, get this repeat block, and repeat 19 times. Repeat 19 times, what are we going to repeat? Well, we got to wait around 5 seconds and create a clone of myself. Alright, so this is basically telling the game to set the enemy health to 100, state to 1, and repeat 19 times, and with an interval of 5 seconds. Interval basically means a value between what's going to happen, okay, something that, the time between what's going to happen, okay, so create clone of myself. Alright, next up, we want to make another script here. Okay, this is the first when I start as a clone script, and it's going to say, when I start as a clone, if, get a if statement right here, get a if statement, get a equals, get a state, alright, from your variables, state, and put in 6, then you want to go to control, and get a stop this script. Alright, that's pretty nice. Then you want to go into and get a forever, and then then you want to go into the motion and get a point towards. Alright, point towards right here, point towards, and get a if statement. Alright, so go into control, get yourself an if statement, and get yourself a and. Alright, now that you got an and, you want to go ahead and get yourself a less than, and put the less than at the right side of the and put in a equals to at the left side. Then get a pick random 1 to 10 also in the operators, and in the equals side, right here, you want to get a 1, put in a 1, and here, you want to put in a 45 and leave this as 1. Alright? Then, in this right block right here, you want to get a distance to player block from the sensing section. Distance to player. Alright? Distance to player. And what's the distance? 250. Okay? I'll explain this in a bit. Alright? So then you want to set state to 6. Set your state to 6 right here. Oh, accidentally clicked that. Right, set your state to 6 and create a clone of myself right here. Alright, so this is basically telling the game to forever while the game is running. You want to point towards the player. Sorry about that, I forgot to put in player. Okay, so I want to point towards the player. Alright, then so if there's a random chance, alright, so it's telling you that if the random chance of 1 to 45 occurs, so if it's equals to 1 and the distance to player is less than 250, then you want to set state to 6 and create a clone of myself. The clone here is the bullet. So there's a 1 in 45 chance. If the enemy is less than 250 distances away from the player, it will shoot a bullet. Alright, hope that's not too confusing. Okay, next you want to get another one flag clicked, okay, and get a looks hide. Then another when I start as a clone, and in this one you actually want to put show instead of hide. We don't want invisible enemies, do we? Alright, then you want to duplicate this script right here, and you want the if state equals 6 script right here. Sorry, not script, block. Alright, then you want to go to front layer. Alright, go to front layer. Go to front layer and get a if else. Okay, if else. Alright, what do you want to put in this if else? Well, you want to put an equals. You want to put an equals, and you want to put 1 to 2 in the pick random block. Okay, 1, 2, 2 equals to 1. So if there's a 1 in 2 chance, which is a pretty big chance, alright, and then you want to get a set. Remember when we made that y my x? Alright, so my x, alright, now instead of putting a value here, you actually want to get a plus from the operators. Alright, we want to get a plus and scroll x. This is to make sure that the enemy doesn't just stick around here and doesn't follow the rules of our game, which is it's a scrolling game, so it has to scroll as well. So the my x has to be the scroll x. Okay, so scroll x plus 240. Okay, then you want to get another set my x. Set my x to scroll x, you can just duplicate that, and minus this time, minus 240. Okay, so scroll x minus 240. Alright, next off, you want to duplicate this, and you're just going to edit it to be y's instead of x's. My y, scroll y, and scroll y. And instead of 240, you want to put 0 and 0. This part is very important. This whole script right here is very important. Okay, then you want to set state to 1. Okay, want to set your state to 1, and then you want a forever script. Okay, get yourself a forever script. Forever, and get a go to xy. Go to xy. This is telling, this little block right here is going to indicate, it's going to tell the game that my x is basically the x and y. Alright, the scroll x and the my x and the scroll y and the my y are basically the x and y. We're giving that information to the game. Alright, so we're going to put a plus on both sides, right, on both sides, and we're going to go ahead and get ourselves a scroll x in the x and a scroll y in the y. Alright, then a my x and a my y. Alright, now that we're done with that, you can also arrange these however you like. You know, you can switch them around. My Y with scroll Y. Sorry about that. Okay, so next you want to get a if statement. Get a if statement and get a equals 2. Equals 2. So pick random. Alright, get a pick random and pick random 1 to 100. So that's a pretty low chance. 1 to 100 equals 1. Okay, pick random 1 to 100 and set state to 2. Alright, I want to set your state to 2. Then get 2 if statements, one inside the other. Alright? 2 if statements, one inside the other. And touching who? Touching the touch the bullet. So if you're touching the bullet, then wait a second here. I'm gonna find the bullet right there. Alright, so if touching the bullet, then actually you don't need this if statement. Sorry, I got a bit confused there. You actually need to just put in a variable. Just put in a variable and put in enemy health. Okay, so this is indicating the damage, how much damage we're going to do to the enemy. Okay, so the enemy health, how much we want to decrease it? Not 35, because then we're increasing it. Change enemy health by 35. Minus 35. Why 35, you ask? Well, then it's going to be a 3-hit kill. But don't you think that's a little bit too much? You can do it however you like. But for my skill level, to be honest, I think a 4-hit kill is good. So minus 25, 25 times 4. Okay, so that's it for this script. So far, we've done quite a lot, alright? Then we want to make a movement script. Okay, the next couple of scripts here will be the bullet and the AI of this enemy, alright? We want to make him look like he's actually a player, not a AI. So these couple of scripts are gonna help make that actually seem true. Okay, so as always, we want to get our if state equals 6. Alright, then we want to get a forever loop, and get a if else. Alright, get yourself an if else. In that if else, you want to get an equals to and a pick random, but this time it's on the right side, and get a state. Okay, pick random 1 to 2 equals 1. Right, so pick random 1 to 2, and you actually want to get another equals because we have to put a value here, right? So 1 to 2 equals to 1. Okay, equals to 1. Then you want to get another if else and put it inside the top part of this if else. Okay, then all you want to do is just duplicate this, get a repeat, put it at the top right here, get a repeat, and get a change. Change my x by 4. You can put whatever number you like, but I think 4 is quite good. Okay, and the same right here. 4. Alright, but this time it's negative 4. Alright, then what you want to do is you want to duplicate this one, not the father block. You want to get this block that's inside this one. Right, I want to get this block and put it in the else. The else right here. Don't put it outside the else, put it inside the else, right? Don't get this wrong, right? Okay? Then you want to basically just change this to y. And yeah, that's it for that part. Okay, then you want to get a if statement. You want to get an if statement, alright, and you want to put it outside the else this time. Alright, you want to get an equals to, state equals to, that's already right there. State equals to, And in that equals to, instead of 6, you want to put 2. Alright? Then you want to get a wait 1 seconds. Wait 1 seconds, and you want to set your state to 1. Now, feel free to take a break, because I know this might get confusing, and if I'm going too fast, please tell me in the comments below. Might try to go slower next time, but you can take a break in the middle, pause, reflect, look at all the scripts, and make sure you've done it correctly, alright? Okay, so next you want to get another if. Get another if, and put in an equals 2, and then change and delete this clone. Right? Change as in change in the variables, and delete this clone. Okay, so what is going to go here? Well, enemy health. Alright, this is for our enemy health. And this time it's not damage, it's players left. Alright, we want the enemy to disappear when we kill them, and the players left mechanic, because when you kill an enemy, you want the players left to decrease. So, if enemy, actually, not an equals, sorry about that, a less than. So if the enemy health is less than 1, not equals to. Alright, less than 1. Alright. Now for our last script, it's gonna be making the movement seem a little bit more realistic again, and plus some bullet, the enemy bullet code. Alright, so this is our last script for the enemy. So when I start as a clone, you want to get a if state equals 6, but this time, don't put in a stop this script, okay? Don't put in a stop this script. Right, so if state equals to 6, then you want to switch costumes to 2. Alright, 2 is our bullet costume, and get a forever. Alright, get a forever loop. Then, in the motion, get a move 10 steps. This is the speed of the bullet. And then put in a movement script, alright? Some movement code. Alright? So, if you paid attention in part 1, then you should know how to do this. Okay, so here we can put in right arrow, and then we can get ourselves a motion and change X by, I'm gonna say 4. Yeah, 4 right here, like that. 4, and then duplicate that, make that into a left arrow, and change that by -4. Then duplicate these two, put in up arrow and down arrow. Alright, up arrow, down arrow. Then you want to get 2 ifs, okay? You want to get another 2 ifs and put them under this like movement script. You want to get 2 ifs, and in the first one, you want to put a touching edge. Right? You want to put a touching edge, and then put a delete this clone. So when the bullet reaches the edge, it deletes the clone, and it doesn't just stick there, and you can take damage when you touch the edges as well. So yeah, right? Touching edge. Then you want to duplicate this. Actually, don't duplicate it, because I said 2 if statements. Okay, so touching player this time. So this is the damage we're going to do to the player. Now, depending on if you're tryhard or not, you can pick how much you want to decrease. In the future, we're going to be adding different guns that the enemy can hold. So for now, it's just a pistol. So I think 10 is a good amount, especially because enemies can like shoot a lot, and you might get bombarded with them. So yeah, we don't want that. Okay? So we want to change our health by -10. Alright, that's pretty nice. Okay, so now we are fully done with our scripts here, the only thing left to do right now is so that we don't one-shot the enemy, because we said change the health by -25. So now it repeats until it's touching the edge in the bullet sprite. It repeats until touching the edge, but it doesn't repeat until it's touching the enemy. So if it's going into the enemy, every frame it's gonna do -25 damage, and you can imagine that in 1 second, because like 30 frames per second, in 1 second, it's gonna destroy the enemy. So you want to change that. So you want to put in an or, so touching edge or touching in the bullet sprite, yeah, or touching the enemy. Alright, so now if you did follow correctly, we should have enemies spawning in and trying to shoot us. Oh, wait, that was a bug. Let's see here. Oh, well, this is a problem. We're only seeing the bullet. So to fix this, we're actually going to go into our enemy. Alright, go into our enemy, and we forgot to switch costume to 1. Switch costume to 1. Alright, when we start. And also, when it's being created, we want a switch costume to 1 here. Alright, so let's see here. Are we gonna get our enemy? Oh, there he is. He's moving. He's hitting us. We take 10 damage. Can we hit him? Can hit him. The bullet stops. Oh, and he dies. Alright, let's see if others will spawn. Oh, there he goes. Oh, okay. Alright. That's cool. Alright, and as you see, I just died right there. And it stopped the game, because we put the stop all over here. So now we're basically almost done. The only thing that's left is a player left counter. And this is optional, but I feel like it's a nice touch to the game. So first of all, you want to go to the player's left, and you want to basically drag all the scripts from the ammo sprite and put it in the player's left. Drag it in there. Alright, then in the player's left, for all the ammo variables here, change them into, not the hashtags, the ammo, change it into player's left. Player's left. And player's left. Okay, so that is excellent, but you might notice that it's in the, wait, it's not showing. Wait a second. We want it to show. So I figured out the problem. I forgot to set this to 20 because it creates enemies 19 times. And if you're wondering why 19 times, because it doesn't count as the first time. The first time doesn't count. So yeah, it actually creates the clone, but it doesn't count. So we actually forgot to set the players left. So let's set it to 20. And now you can see that it's overlapping the ammo because it's in the same position. So let's fix that by, first of all, so we can test this out, we're going to take out the first script so the enemies don't kill us. So we're in here, we're going to put in the Y, we're going to put in 150, I guess. Let's try that. So 150. Oh, and you see that's too high. So let's put in 130. Alright, how about 125? You can just play around this until you get the desired. I want it to align right here. Right, so I think 110 is pretty good. Okay, then I want to move the X around, so I can put like minus 100 and 130. Make sure it's a minus if you want to move it to the right. Okay, minus 35, I guess. Alright, so that's 135. I can move this around to like 111. And hey, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now let's test out our game, because that's basically it. Okay, so let's hide this player's left. And hey, we're done. Okay, so that should actually be it for this tutorial. Alright, so if you did it correctly, you should have a health bar, some enemies spawning, a player's left counter, and enemies shoot you, take like a couple damage, and you can shoot the enemies, and the bullet stops when you shoot them, killing the enemy. Alright, and when you kill an enemy, the counter goes down. Okay, so that is excellent. Alright, so next time in part 4, we're going to be adding new guns, which is going to be very exciting to do. Alright, make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below what should I add to this game and how could I improve my videos. Alright, so that's me, Ali, and see you next time.